Hey everyone, today is April 27th, 2021, and today's card of the day for the second time is Spider Tracer. So, Spider Tracer is going to continue our Justice Week as a hero card that works really well with a lot of Justice cards. Spider Tracer is an item tech upgrade from Spider-Man's hero kit. It has the response, or interrupt, forced interrupt. When attached minion is defeated, remove 3 threat from a scheme. So, a really efficient removal of threat for 1 printed cost, 2 true cost, you could remove 3 threat. 4 Justice without its kicker is 3 true cost for 3 threat. So obviously an improvement, but it's got some drawbacks too. You need to have a minion in play because it triggers when the minion that it's attached to is defeated. So if minions aren't coming out, Spider Tracers just become dead cards in your hand. It's also important that you have to defeat the minion. You can't discard the minion like with that side scheme in Red Skull or any future discard a minion tech. So you're going to need to defeat the minion with damage, but it doesn't have to be damage from your hero. It can be tack team, it can be stealth strike, it can be an ally damage. So there's lots of ways you can defeat a minion using Spider Tracer, or with Spider Tracer attached outside of your just hero activation attack and things like that. So obviously I said this card is going to work really well with Justice. Here's a bunch of examples of cards that work well with Justice. So you could remove the 3 threat from any scheme, the main scheme, the side scheme, whatever you want. So if you have a side scheme out there and you play Followed attached to a side scheme, when attached scheme is defeated, deal 4 damage to an enemy. You defeat an enemy, trigger Spider Tracer, defeat that side scheme, trigger Followed, defeat another enemy. You could clear 2 enemies for the price of 1 and a side scheme there in the middle. So that seems like a real fun combo. Likewise, if you defeat a side scheme with Spider Tracer, you're going to be able to use Skilled Investigator, because nothing about Skilled Investigator says when you thwart and defeat, it's just when a side scheme is defeated. I really like this combo with Stealth Strike, so you put a Spider Tracer onto a minion. The next turn you draw Stealth Strike, you defeat that minion with Stealth Strike, deal 4 damage to an enemy. If that enemy is defeated by this attack, remove 2 threat from a scheme. Well, now you can remove 5 threat from a scheme, or 2 from one scheme and 3 from another scheme. It lets you spread that threat removal up, which is really nice. We've seen that with Wasp, we've seen that with the Aerial card coming in Star-Lord, so pretty exciting stuff. I think this works pretty well with Quake against low scheme minions. So Quake says after a minion schemes, exhaust Quake to deal 2 damage to that minion. So you can put the Spider Tracer on an Ultron drone or whatever you want to remove, a Hydra Bomber, and then when that minion schemes, Quake deals 2 damage to it. The scheme that it placed is kind of like counteracted by the Spider Tracer. So you can leave minions out there without fear of too much scheme or threat adding up, which can be nice. Interrogation Room, obviously, max 1 per player. After you defeat a minion, exhaust Interrogation Room to remove 1 threat from the scheme. So this is just like Stealth Strike. You're already going to be defeating a minion for Spider Tracer, so this lets you remove another threat, so you can remove 4 total, spread out. Crazily, if you have Spider Tracer and Interrogation Room out and you Stealth Strike that minion, you can now remove 3, 2, and 1, so 6 total threat from schemes, but split up in instances of 3, 2, and 1. So you could do 3 from a side scheme, 2 from the main scheme, and then 1 from the main scheme, or whatever order makes sense. Another hero card that can be fun to pair up with Spider-Man is Iron Man, because the Stark Tower support location says Alter Ego action, exhaust Stark Tower. Choose a player. That player returns the topmost tech upgrade in their discard pile to their hand. Well, Spider Tracer happens to be a item tech upgrade. So, if you're playing against Ultron and Iron Man's sitting in Alter Ego form, trying to draw to his tech, not necessarily recur his tech yet, he can then keep popping Spider Tracers back into Spider-Man's hand, allowing him to continually manage the threat while Iron Man's sitting in Alter Ego building up. So, pretty fun combo. Always look for that tech trait on upgrades to work with Stark Tower. So what are some rules goofs and intricacies of this card? There's not many, it's all keyword dependent really, so this is not a thwart action. There's no thwart in parentheses or thwart trait or anything like that, so it's not going to be canceled by confused. So it's a way to remove threat even when confused, which is really, really powerful. Also, the new keyword patrol makes it so while this minion is engaged with you, you can't thwart the main scheme. You will be able to Spider Tracer the main scheme, though, because it's not a thwart action. At the same time, the crisis icon that can be on side schemes, the text for that says, while this icon is in play, you cannot remove threat from the main scheme. So you will not be able to Spider Tracer around a crisis icon, but yes, around patrol and confused. It's very minion dependent, so it's good when paired with characters that care about pulling minions out of the deck. So Thor with Defender of the Nine Realms, I think Rocket and Wasp running Looking for Trouble is another big combo for Spider Tracer. They can pull the minions out, allowing Spider-Man to play the Tracer. Then they can blow up the minion with an off-turn action event. So pretty cool. And don't forget about that tech trait because it's really important for Stark Tower. And I'm assuming it's going to be important into the future because they've really been pushing tech onto a lot of upgrades and mentioning it a lot. So hopefully we see more interactions with that soon. So that was the second recording of today's Card of the Day video. Sorry about that. Apparently my microphone was spider tracered and he was intercepting my call, but no more. I have fixed that and we are back on track for Justice Week. Thanks for tuning in.